All right, we were looking earlier at nature. We were looking at the natural realm, and I was interrupted, but it's okay. I'm back. We were just trying to look at nature and look at the proof and evidence of nature and how nature is just such a lovely place. Sun is out here, and of course, I got my sunglasses on so I can see what I'm doing. And we were listening for the sounds of nature as well, trying to notice where there are birds chirping. Right now, there's cicadas making their little sound where we get the reference, the cicada rhythm of the heart, continual rhythm, same sound, same beat. And I don't know if you could hear them now. No, that's an airplane. But the circadian rhythm, that's what it's called, a circadian rhythm. So with the circadian rhythm, the cicada, they're interesting as well because they come from under the ground. They come from under the ground. They look like a grub, and the grub comes up out of the ground, and then it scales the tree. And once it scales the tree, it becomes this larvae that almost does the same as a butterfly and creates this cocoon shell that it develops in. And then after it develops in that cocoon shell, then if you see one, it looks like a locust with big eyes. It's just, and it takes its wings and it makes that sound, or I can't remember if it's the wings or there's a little mechanism that's built onto them or designed into them, but that's what they do, and they make that sound, and then they eventually shed that shell. So sometimes I remember when I was a little kid, we used to climb up in the trees and we would see the shell of the cicadas, and sometimes you would climb the tree and you would actually see the live cicada, and he camouflages himself. He looks like he kind of looks, if the tree is green and got that green and darkish gray looking color, he'll look that color as well. He'll look that color as well. And he's just adjusting into his environment. So guess what? It's time to go from out of the darkness and into the light as we get adjusted to our environment. We get adjusted to our environment. That was a quote that said something to the effect of positive people view their world from a positive perspective, and hostile people view their world in a hostile perspective, and so that what they look at is the mirror of themselves. No, it said loving people, and then it said hostile people. I switched it to say positive people and negative. And that's the mirror that you see when you look at other people. If you're a positive person, then the people that you look at, you're going to see them from a positive light, positive energy source. If the people that you deal with and look at are negative, you're going to see them from a negative light or them producing from a negative source. We want to always produce from the positive source. We are positive. We have positive energy. This is what we're striving for. This is what we want to do. We want to always project positive energy. It's hard to do at times, but it can be done. It can be, not me, Don. The positive energy can be done. D-O-N-E. D-O-N-E. Yes, out here in the natural realm. There were some thoughts about various conversations where a particular person was in a particular environment, and in that environment should have been a safe environment, an environment free from alcohol, an environment free from drugs, but there was one person in the environment that was still partaking in the alcohol or the drugs for that environment, and the person in question was saying that it makes him really feel uncomfortable, and he's not really quite ready to deal with that so immediately in his presence, and he's thinking about changing his locality and doing all these other things. And so I raised my hand and made a comment and said, so why are you readjusting for another person's faults or downfalls in a place where you're supposed to be getting your sobriety together, and you're trying to do it and the guy's not doing it. And I said, in my opinion, it's the guy who needs to leave and not you, because now you're going to inconvenience yourself, because this guy is not going to inconvenience himself from not doing the drugs or what have you, and then you're going to inconvenience yourself just because of that guy. No, don't do that. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. And so I can say that about his scenario, but look what happened in my scenario when I was doing alcohol and behaving the way I behaved with my mentality, and everybody else was accommodating me and making me feel like there was really nothing wrong initially in dealing with me. But then after the fact, they would say, hey man, you're not a bad person, but boy, once you start drinking, man, you say some stuff, man, and you're a totally different person. And so I had to look at that mirror. That was my mirror. The person talking to me, that was my mirror. See, I saw myself in the mirror while I was drinking, but I didn't see myself in this mirror when I was drinking. And so that's what happens in life. It happens like that, and there's nothing wrong with it. And we do it all the time. And we're conditioned that we're judging a person or doing this, trying to project that we're better than the person, and that's necessarily not the case. That's not the case. I wanted to change the angle because I wanted you to see the trees. They look like they're just, man, so much shade, so much protection in those trees. So much shade and so much protection. That's what we like a lot of times. We like that shade. We like that protection. We shade and protect ourselves from our outside environment, from people, from things that we know it's not good for us, and we'll shade ourselves. We'll hide for that protection and stay within ourselves, and so we don't have to face that or face ourselves. But we do, because we're coming out of the darkness and into the light. We're coming out of the darkness and into the light. So I took my shades off. The sun is not beaming that bad, but it is. But anyway, just to express coming out of the darkness and into the light. Look at all this light. And see, the light is good. And then God created the light, and he saw the light, and it was good. Being in the light is good. Contrary to popular belief, being in the dark is good. Being in the darkness is good. It makes you strive for the light. The only thing scramble for the darkness when the light shows up is roaches. Be looking at me like you ain't never had roaches. Turn on the light and they scatter. They can't stand the light. That's how darkness is. So whenever light shows up, darkness must flee. Darkness must flee. So that's why we come out of the darkness and into the light. Be children of the light. Step into the light. We're going to finish this video a little bit later, and I'll get back with you, and I'll have some more things to talk about. Man, that other video that I did the other day, woo! I reviewed that video and looked, I said, man, I am on the money. I am sharp. Yeah, dress sharp too, but I was sharp, man. I was revealing some stuff and teaching myself. See, I told you, when I'm talking to you guys and teaching you guys, I'm not just teaching you, I'm teaching myself. I was making a joke like all the information I was reading, they was just only talking about me. But they weren't talking about me, but they were talking about you as well. And so we're good with it. We can take corrective criticism. We can look in the mirror. You do it every morning. Let me do this here. Look in the morning, every morning, to fix your complexion, to fix your face. Fix your face. You say that to the little kids after you scold them and they frown at you. Fix your face. And the little kid get out his little toolkit and he goes to fix his face. Makeup, please. Once again, you know I love the way that sound, and I'm going to say it. We coming out of the darkness and into the light. I just love the way that sounds, man. Out of the darkness Into the light.